oh, look what it is. It's a TS100 soldering iron. Now, there's been a lot of talk about these from various places. I've seen them mentioned. So I thought, well, Banggood offered me one, so I said, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Figured, hey, what the hell? Why not? It's a free iron for me. Now, I did actually ask as well for extra tips, but they wouldn't give me them. Not at this stage, anyway. I said, well, maybe later. So, yeah. I thought, well, I'll sod it then. But I'll probably buy my own if I like the iron. So it's a very small iron. And what's in here? Nicely presented, I suppose. It's all nicely packaged, isn't it? Put some effort into the packaging. That shows a bit of quality on that aspect. Usually you just don't bother, do they? So Allen key there, a couple of little I suppose you can assume cat screws really, can't you? But they've got like screw heads on them, but they're in hex. Anyway, so I don't know what that's for. And there it is, and you have to supply your own power supply apparently. So okay, so maybe there's spare screws for this piece. Must be spare screws. So you got the actual heated tip element, which I'm going to have to wind that screw out for. Okay, so you have to lock it in. Okay. I'm not sure I like that aspect actually, like having to lock the thing in place. Prefer it to be clipped in, so you can just change it. Okay, well, I suppose if you're not changing tips very often, it's alright. So what tips it's come with anyway? So we've got a conical tip. Alright, I don't know what size that is. No idea what size that is, probably about 1.2 mil roughly, I'd say. You know, at a guess. So I'll slide that in there. Yeah, I suppose I should lock those up, shouldn't I? I'll end up bloody losing them. I won't do it very tight though. Since I don't have any other iron tips to actually put into it, I would like some. If I like the iron, then I might buy some, but okay. So the thing that Louis Rossman actually mentioned, because I was watching his video recently about it, and about not having a guard on there, you know, it's like, yeah, okay, that's a good point, but I suppose you could actually touch it because it is quite small. You know, my hands are quite big, so my tendency to want to hold it there, which means my fingers are going to be like that. Burny. I think it's too small. It needs to be longer. You know, it's like, yeah. I have to earn it resting on the connector instead, which is probably going to put stress on the circuit board and break the traces in the end. So, oh, let's have a look. Safety instructions: don't touch a hot bit. Yeah. Power supply. What do I need for the power supply? I thought it would come with one actually. 12 to 24 volts. Yeah, the higher the voltage, more wattage you're going to get, because it's obviously a fixed element, so that's expected. So I really need a 24 volt supply to get the best out of this thing. I don't have one. I've got 12 volt. What's the USB do? Can I pair it from USB? I think the USB is only for talking to the microcontroller. I don't think it will use USB to power it. That doesn't surprise me actually, it's quite a bit of current involved. Right. I need a cable which I can plug into this, which I can then run to my power supply. I can run my bench power supply to use that. We'll do that. But first I need a cable which is using a, looks like a 2.1 mil DC jack. I'll go find one. Okay, so I've got this 4.8 volt charger here, which is something I'm not likely to ever use, at least not with this plug on it, so let's see if the plug will fit. Nah, it doesn't, that's not the same. Forget that. Okay, we'll try this one. This is a just 12 volt, half an amp. That one doesn't go either. Keep looking. Okay, there's a 9 volt charger here. See if this one fits. No. No, it's a 5-volt charger. Again, I'm not going to use a voltage, I just want the cable off it. That one doesn't fit either. What size bloody plug has this thing got on it? Okay, let's try this old laptop charger. This is an old IBM charger. What's this thing supposed to be output? 16 volt, 4.5 amps. Yeah, okay. See if this one fits. Aha, success. Right, but do I really want to cut the cable off this thing? Not really. And 16 volt isn't going to produce a lot of power. So let's just have a look. What do I reckon it's going to be? 16 volt will be 30 watts. I suppose it'd be good enough to demonstrate. It's not exactly ideal, was it? If they'd just sent a bloody charger with it, it would have been a lot easier, eh? You know? Not having a charger makes it a real pain. Right, I'll be back in a second. Alright, well, let's plug it in. We have power. Version 2.18, was it, you said? Yep, 2.18. Take that off, don't want that. Press that. Okay, well that does heat up pretty quickly, doesn't it? And that's already at temperature, because there's smoke coming off it. Look at it jumping around over the place, that's really interesting. Was it doing a calibration? I don't know what the hell it's doing. Is that an earth screw? You're supposed to add another wire on for an earth. What's this? 300 now? Heating. Okay. Okay. I've got no idea how to use this. Let's bring it a bit closer. So it's set with 300 right now. What do we got to? 400C. Okay. And the lowest is pretty damn low. 100C. Okay. So see how quickly it drops as well. So I think it's doing like a calibration thing to start off with, which I thought was quite interesting. It might have PID control, and if that's the case, then it might need to do that little calibration thing going on there. But look how slowly it drops down. In a way, it's a good thing. It means it's got some decent thermal mass. Hopefully, you can actually see it on camera. Okay. Yeah. Don't know. Let's go back up. $300 will do. Yeah, okay, so it's very different to what I did when I first powered it up, so it must have been doing a little calibration. Alright, well, let's stick some solder on it. Alright, I need to think about soldering something. I really do need to think about soldering something. I'll have to find something. I'm going to think about this. So I thought I'd actually read these instructions. You know, you never quite know. So for the first time using, it may generate a bit of smoke. Yeah, it's normal for new tips. That's often the case. After continuous use up to 40 minutes, the handle surface temperature will reach 50 to 60 degrees C. So that this gets hot up to 50 degrees C after 40 minutes. So you don't need to be using this for any long periods of time because it's just going to cook your hand. 50 degrees C is like, that's going to burn you. Right? That's the point of burning. 60 will burn you. In most cases. I mean, it depends on your own personal tolerance, but to me 50 degrees C is like the limit of what I can put up with. Any more than that, it's too hot. So for a short period of time, obviously not a long period of time. So that's a little bit interesting, and I reckon this is going to get hot. So that means that design-wise, this isn't insulated well enough. Okay, so if you need a small portable iron, which you have a little power supply you can plug into, like maybe a car, you can plug into your car. 12 volt supply from your car. Be handy for that, or a little maybe a plug pack or something. Maybe use a battery pack with a booster or something like that, whatever. All right, but so I don't think this is really suitable for anything like bench use. All right, I don't think it's good enough for bench use. It's too small. I find it, as Lewis observed in his observations on his video, when he was looking at, possibly getting one. Well, I think Banggood is sending him one. It doesn't look like it's going to be comfortable in a hand. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I actually find that awkward already. Right, and I barely even held the thing. Right, to me, I need something a bit bigger so I can actually stretch my hand out and relax my hand. I mean, like that, I don't know. Maybe it's all right. Changing temperature is not such a big deal. You don't have to do that much. So yeah, up to 50 degrees after 40 minutes. Well, if you're doing a lot of iron, a lot of work, you're working on a project, you could easily have it on for that long. Easily. Maybe it's got an automatic shut off. I don't know. I should probably carry on reading. Yeah, whilst it's heating, don't touch the metallic parts. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Oh dear. Suppose I have to spell it out for the people which aren't quite that smart. Yeah, so that's pretty much the extent of the instructions. Don't touch the hot bit. Okay, that's concerning. Right, let's plug this in again, see what happens. Now don't forget, this is only on a 16 volt supply, so this is running at 30 watts according to the manual. Right. So if I'm going to push the other button. Ooh, that's interesting. So you push the other button instead of that one, like it's telling you. Get it in shot and make sure you can see it. I'm assuming you can see it, can I? It tells you the actual temperature and the input voltage. And yeah, because I haven't got it on, I can touch it. It's not like it's on. Alright, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so instead of pushing the calibrate one, push that one. You got input voltage and current tip temperature. So okay, so we'll push that one. So I think it's doing a calibration from when it worked before. I'll bring it back into shot. It's already smoking, it's already hot. And I think it's only running 30 watts. This time I went straight up. So maybe it's that initial calibration on the very first time use, it was doing that jumping around. Always a bug, I don't know, I'm just guessing here, but that went straight to 300 and sat there this time instead of jumping around over the place. So maybe the first power up is a PID tuning for the tip. Maybe it's the first time I use that tip it does a tune, maybe that's what it is. But yeah, that went straight up and it's hit hot pretty quick. But don't forget it's only running 30 watts on this power supply. So I think the shortcoming is not having a power supply come with it, or at least a lead. You can just apply the cable, right? A bit of wire with the plug on it, so that you can connect it to your power supply of your choosing. You saw me having to hunt around trying to find a plug that will fit this thing. So let's actually do some checks. Let's see what size this thing is, because it doesn't actually mention in here. I didn't see it in there at least, about what size it is. Let's get my thing out here. Let's do some little checks. Alright, so this one fits. So that's a barrel connector. So let's see. Should we do it there, shouldn't you? So 5.4 mil ish. 5.5 there. So 5.5 mil outside. Inside 2.6. So it's probably a 2.5 mil pen. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get in there. Nah, there's no one going to get those in there. Yeah, let's confirm that way though. Let's confirm that. Yeah, 5.57 bore. So 5.5 mil outside. So it's probably a 2.5 mil pen. If anyone wants to figure that out, it's not obviously not a 2.1 mil standard DC connector. So it's the next size up because they also deemed it needed more power. So you have to watch out for that. So I was just a bit lucky I actually had a suitable connector. Now I have to look at the standard size. It must, maybe it's 2.6 mil, or it might be like a metric conversion of an imperial unit. I don't really know how they size those things, to be honest. So but yeah, this one fits. That's an old laptop one which I picked up from somewhere and chucked in my box of power supplies. So anyway, yeah, it heats up. I really should do some soldering. I need to find something to solder, do some testing. Bearing in mind it's only running at 30 watts. Okay, that's the thing to remember. It's only running 30 watts right now. If I was running 60 watts, which is when it's running on 24 volt supply, then it'll heat up a lot quicker and obviously be more powerful because it runs at 65 watts in that case. So yeah, I mean my old irons. I mean this is the old style. You know, these are, as Lewis said the other day, this is the old outdated style. Why do you use this when you can get this kind of thing where it's got a heated element where it's much more effective? You know, these are just, yeah, they work, but the heat is away from the tip a bit more and it's slower to react and things like that. So these are outdated, you know. If you've got the choice of getting one with the element in the tip, then definitely get it because they will be a lot more effective. But this is just what I have. This is what was on my soldering station I purchased for my one. So I mean, yeah, it's simple. It looks alright. I do like that input feature. It's just a shame that it's, you know, there would be documentation to explain how to use it. Like, there's only 2 buttons. You can't go too far wrong, can you? Maybe saying you push 2 buttons at once, or if you push a button you power it up. Or I'm not going to do that because of wiped memories or something. I don't know what you do because they do have firmware upgrades on it. So maybe you need to push buttons for that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just too bloody small. I mean, if this isn't a bigger handle with a grip on it, you know, to stop your fingers sliding down, touching the metal bit. Even if it had like a little lip on there, you know, just a little edge to stick out, so you know you're on the end of it. You know, you don't slip down lower. But it's too short. It needs to be like an inch longer, and then with the guide on it. That's really what it needs, you know. But anyway, I'll find something to solder. Okay, so I found a crappy old piece of PCB which I've obviously done some project I've worked on years ago and just played around with, and it's got lots of soldering already. It's a little bit oxidised. You know, it's a bit purpled obviously, so we'll see what happens with that. Don't forget, this is only running on 30 watts, right, off 16 volts. So if you want best results, you want to, you know, use a 24 volts power supply. So I want to see how quickly this actually warm up and be usable. It's already starting to bite. Here we go, that's melted. Alright, so that's fairly fast. That's a lot faster than my Tenma iron. Alright, so in that regard, it's doing pretty well. So that's a 300. Let's see what we can do with 300, eh? Let's just mess around. This is obviously going to be shit. I'm not going to do anything nice. It's just going to be. That is very effective, even on 30 watts. Right, that is, heat output is good. Let's just keep chucking solder onto it and see how it goes. It's starting to cool down a little bit now. I can feel it biting a little bit, but you know, don't think it's only on 30 watts. It's not doing too bad, right? Just try this bit here. She's got a big thermal mass as well, so it's still only on 300. Actually, I might put the temperature up a little bit. Let's go to. I will use 350 on my other iron, right? But then it's because the iron type means it's not the best. So 350 is probably going to be complete overkill on this thing. We'll give it a second to actually soak through to the tip. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, look at that. It's like no problem at all. This is actually working better than my Tenma Tenma soldering station ironers. Right, this has got a lot more heat throughput. Even at 30 watts, that's actually doing a lot better. All right. Yeah, that actually works really well. I mean, this is the first iron I've actually played with which has got the heating element in the tip. All right, I understand the theory behind it, and that, you know, it's a better system. It truly is a better system. But so I don't have a proper basis of comparison for how it compares to other irons which also have a heated tip. But you know, this is just, look, it's just melting out really quickly, even though it's got a big thermal mass right there. You know, it's just no problem at all. Chuck more, I'm wasting a lot of solder, but that's fine. All right, and look, it's just like liquid, like no problem at all. Look at that, liquid solder, whole lot. Right, no issue there with heat capacity, and that's at 30 watts. Yeah, okay, we'll drop the temperature back down to 250. We'll try 250, shall we? Give it a little while to cool down. It does take a while to cool. Of course, if I stick it on something, it'll cool down a lot faster, won't it? Alright. So there you go, 250. Obviously, this is still going to be quite hot itself. I mean, it's just like, it's still very hot. It's holding a lot of heat itself. So let's do some more over here. I mean, this is just me checking heat capacity and seeing how well it actually works on various things. I mean, this is just a mess. So I'm just messing around. This is not proper at all, obviously, because it's just garbage. So 250, it's struggling a little bit there with that kind of mass. But that's not surprising. It's got to get the heat into it first, then it seems okay. You know, even running at 30 watts, I mean, that seems right, because the heat is going straight into the tip. So, you know, it's nowhere near as extreme an effect as this bit here was at 350. But, you know, leave it on a little while, it can do it. The heat capacity is there. But having a higher temperature will certainly do it a lot easier. So let's come back over here into this one again. Now it's cooled down a bit. Yep, let's try 250 again here. So yeah, it's gone in. Just level it out a bit. So I mean, 250 will also do it fine. You know, it will work. But that's obviously not as nice as the 350 range. You will put the heat out. You just have to take a bit more time with it. So I mean, that's done it. I mean, not one big pool of soldering, molten solder. So, and that's the 250. Now my other iron would struggle with that. So actually I might turn it on. Put this to one side. Hopefully without burning myself. Let's get the other iron going. Let's drop the temperature down to 250, so it's a direct comparison. Right. And bring this over. Still heating. There we go. 250 now. I bet it's not hot yet though. No, it's still cold. See, not melted yet. Right, still not melted yet. Right. This gives you an idea, right? The old style versus the new style. Yeah, it's just like, nah, still not going. It's almost there. There we go. Starting to go now. All right. So that's a huge difference. Okay. It's better. All right. So let's try this again. Now I'm going to do the same piece I did here, 250. If we had a chance to cool down. We'll see how we go with that. Anything? Still nothing? Right, this is why I use 350 on this iron. There we go, it's starting to go now. Just starting to go. So it's just gone into it. But no, that's struggling. Something I've ordered is actually a tip temperature sensor. You know, those things you put the iron onto to check the temperature range. Yeah, there we go. So that's now going. All right, so that shows the difference between having a heating element in the tip of the iron on the actual tip. I mean, that's now okay. All right, so that was a struggle for this iron, whereas the other one did it easy. I'm not actually sure what the wattage rating is of this piece. I don't remember what it is. It wasn't much. I think it was only about 40 watts or 50 watts or something like that for this. I think it was about 50, but I could be wrong. So let's try 350 degrees. Right, let's see how quickly that comes up. It says it's there, but it won't be. Alright, so you saw how quickly 350 melted this piece before. Yeah, it's starting to go. There we go, it's in. Right. But, how does that compare? It's struggling all the way. Yeah, it's gone cold again back here. Okay, come on. There you go, it's molten, but only barely. It's not putting enough heat in. Right, there you go. It's now there, but it's still freezing off at the ends there. That's close to what the other one was doing now. Right, so basically it took that long to put that much heat back in. Alright, so it takes much longer for it to work. At the same temperature ranges, right? So this was at 250, this was doing at 250 what the other iron is doing at 350, basically. Alright, so it does work well. I have to say, it works well. I just don't like the case. I don't like the fact it doesn't come with a power supply or cable, you know? Like I said, if it just came with a cable, that itself would be good, you know. Just come with a cable. Jesus, just include a bit of wire, so you can splice onto it and make your own cables, or, you know, kit up if you want. No, it's not a big deal. Just do this one again. So obviously this would heat up a lot quicker if it was on a higher power supply, and that's a 300. So I did it at 300, not 350. Right, 300. And there we go. Right, just way easier at a low temperature. So yeah, you know, that's just straight in. It's like no problem at all. So that's the advantage of having the tip on here, heated tip. You know, that's what makes this good, is that tip. The body, I mean, it's okay, but it's not something you'd use every day. It's not your everyday iron, right? Not your everyday iron, not by a long shot. So, because it just doesn't really have the comfort that you'd want from an everyday iron. You know, you want it to have a decent handle so you can hold on to it properly. But it is what it is, isn't it, really? Okay, so that's my opinion of the iron. It works really well. It's just not comfortable to hold. And it doesn't come with a bloody power cable or power supply, which, when it's not a 2.1mm jack, becomes a bit of an issue. Lots of people have got 2.1mm jacks, right? They're really common, 2.1mm, really common. Whatever the hell this is, not so much. I've only got one plug pack, which happens to have the right size wire. So if you know, obviously you have to go and buy the wire for it, or go and buy the plug, and just, that's a pain, right? So thanks to Banggood for sending me this. I should have mentioned that at the very beginning. Banggood sent this to me free of charge. Wherever the stickers are. Here we go. Hold on, I should get this. Right, so that's from Banggood, free of charge, right? For the purpose of review. I didn't pay anything for this. So, you know, thank you very much, Banggood, for giving the opportunity to do that. Another little tool to have laying around. So if it was more comfortable to use, I think this would be something I'd use over this one, right? but it's not comfortable in hand, and that's what lets it down. You know, it needs to be bigger. You know, it needs more diameter and a bit more length. You know, another inch there and probably another 1/4 inch or so around the diameter there. You know, just to make it so you got something, you feel like you're holding on to something. Right now it's just like, yeah, it's dainty. You don't want to squeeze it too hard. It's not that, you know, it just feels like it's going to break. You know, it's nice. It's nice construction, I think, but yeah, I don't know. What can you say about it? It works well, even on 30 watts. It works well on 30 watts. So I don't know. It's up to you. You know, if it's going to be something you're going to use occasionally, you know, maybe half an hour, even once in a while, then sure, go for it. But if you're going to be doing potentially an hour's worth of soldering or 2 hours worth of soldering quite frequently, I wouldn't get it. I'd get something different, something which is, you know, bigger with a decent handle. You know, this same style, certainly with the heated tip, that's a big advantage, especially when you get different tips and you plug them in. Right? I don't like the fact you have to unscrew these grips in order to get the tips in and out. I'm not keen on that. So that's a bit of a, to me, it's a bit of a fail. I mean, it may even be good enough to hold itself in without really needing that. I mean, it does clip in quite nicely. It's not really like it's going to fall out. It takes a bit to pull that out, but maybe once the clips have aged a bit, maybe it'll be a bit loose potentially then. But I mean, yeah, it's alright, but no, I'm in trouble getting it back in. There we go. So if you're looking at changing tips often, I wouldn't really recommend it either. It's not, I mean, yes, it's changeable, but it's not the best. It's not as nice as some of these other irons, which I've seen, which I've yet to actually get. I'm actually thinking about getting one, actually, to be honest. I really am thinking about getting a decent iron. But yeah. Anyway, one that's on my soldering station's okay, but it's not the best. I wonder if I can actually change it. No, I'm digressing. Well, I've been playing around with this TS100 a little bit, so I've had a bit more experience with it now. And again, thanks to Bank for sending it to me. Obviously, when you first pair it up, it does this screen here, and as I showed, it's got the voltage and current temperature measurement there. Now, you can see it's a little bit high there because I've had the thing on for a little while. I'll turn it back on. Now, what will actually happen on this is it does actually have a low sleep timer. Okay, it's quite a sleep timer. So after it's been on for a while, it will go to sleep. So I've actually timed it out, so it will drop down to 200 degrees C. I thought it might drop down by 100 degrees because I went from 300 down to 200. It doesn't actually do that, so I'll actually demonstrate this. I'll probably skip the video forward a bit. 290, close enough. And I'll skip through the video a bit fast so you can see what's going on. But the so it goes down to 200 degrees after 3 minutes. Right, so it's got a 3-minute sleep timer, and then after a further, how long was that? It's 9 minutes. Yeah, after 9 minutes of not being used, it turns itself off. Okay, so 6 minutes after it goes to sleep, then it turns off. So that's an interesting little point there to note as well. So it will not stay on. You can't just forget about it and it will stay on. It does shut itself off unless it's moving around. Okay, it relies on being stationary. It detects you picking it up. So I'll demonstrate that in a minute anyway. Right now it's a Friday afternoon and it's a long weekend, so let's have a beer. That's better. There you go. Started dropping down now. When it drops down a little bit, then actually change the display. There we go. So it goes. It says it's going down to 200 degrees. So it actually gives you a bit of extra information on display, which is quite nice. It's a nice touch. There you go. It's now reached 200. It's just going to sit there. So let's maintain 200 degrees, and it'll do that for another 6 minutes. So I'm not going to bother recording that 6 minutes, so I'll come back in a minute. Actually, what I will demonstrate is if you move it, it will come back on again. Okay. So I've only picked it up a little bit, and there you go. It's detected I picked it up. Really sensitive to being picked up. So that's brilliant. It's gone back to 290 now. So it'll be another 3 minutes before it starts to go back to sleep. But it doesn't shut off. The screen goes off, and it's like, it is off. Okay, but if you pick it up after that time, the screen comes back on again. So I'll show you that once it's done it. Okay, so now I'm just waiting for the thing to turn itself off. So I don't know, it should be too far away. I wasn't actually timing. It's going to be close to soon, so it should shut off. And then when you pick it up again, it comes back to that first menu screen where you can initially turn it on. So I was going to wait for that to shut itself off so you can see what happens. Okay, there you go, it's turned off. So now when you pick it up, it turns back on again. Right? Well, it says it's active at least. So then you can turn it back on and carry on. Alright, so obviously that heat was still sitting at 200 even though it's just gone to sleep because obviously you've got the thermal mass to dissipate. But so the other thing I found is if you click both buttons at once, hold both buttons down at once, it turns it off. And then you can go back to this screen and things like that. And it shows you the actual temperature right now. Factory reset. No. Oh, this is the menu. That's how you get the menus. Okay. Hand RT, temp CT, off volt 10, temp step 10. Okay, yeah, 10 degree steps. Idle time 360. That's 6 minutes. Aha, okay. Right. So it's also degrees centigrade. Idle time 360 is 6 minutes. That's a turn off time. Sleep time 180. Okay, so you can set those to what you want then. Standby time 200. Or standby temperature is 200. Okay. WK temp, I don't know what that is. Okay, so that's also your menus. So that scrolls through the menus. Right. Well, in that case, I think I'd want the temperature here to be different. So how do I set that? Change. Oh, there we go. Hold it down. Right, I would want that standby to be 150. Right. Nice and low. Okay. Sleep time 3 minutes. I mean, as soon as it heats up again, as soon as you pick it up. I don't know. Maybe I want more time than that. So, I'm not sure what the story is with that. Anyway, standby temperature is 150 now. Sleep time 180. Actually, let's make that. Let's make it 2 minutes. Right, I think that's a better time. And idle time 360. So turn off. So what's that? That's 6 minutes. 7 minutes. Let's go 10, eh? 10 minutes. 10 minutes, go to sleep. Steps. Do 5 degree steps, but I don't really see the need. 10 degrees adequate, isn't it? Nice and quick. Off voltage. Does that mean if the voltage gets too low, it turns itself off? Hand RT. What does that do? Oh, right. Okay. There we go. Left hand, right hand. That's nice. So if you're left-handed, you can turn around that way. That's a nice feature. There we go. Right, that makes sense, doesn't it? That's surprising, actually, but good thinking. Cool. Cow. No, I don't want to do it. Alright. All good. So I thought I'd show those things anyway. It works well. Okay, so this is the Banggood page. Now I've just actually done a search for TS100. Okay, so this is the actual iron here. So this is where you can get it from. I'll leave links in the description for this. And you can also buy replacement tips. So you can buy $15 each. This is in New Zealand dollars, obviously, because this is my country here. So $15 New Zealand, what's that, about $10 US, I think there'll be, roundabouts. So for each tip, so you can choose which one you want. You can buy one that way. You can buy little stands for them and sponges, stuff like that. You can also buy these power connectors for them, which I think should come with it. This is one for use with the power bank thing, little jump starter power bank. So it's the XT60 connector on the other end, 2.5mm. See, 5.5 by 2.5mm, which is what I thought it was for the jack. So you can also buy different shrouds if you want to change the colour of it. I don't really see the point. And you also get this whole kit as well. This is the other option. You can buy the whole collector kit, which has got everything with it. Alright, so I'll open this up and show you. Which is what I wish Banggood had sent me. This would have been much better. There's a little video there. Someone's already done one of that one. And there we go. So I guess it comes with that cable then, in that case, in that kit. Let's keep scrolling down. This is more advertising. Different tips. There's the shrouded tips as well. And there's the kit. So you get the cable with the XTC connector, stand with the sponge, those tips there, which you've got the shrouds on them, which are also available on the page, all the other tips and the actual iron, of course. So that is obviously, if you really want to invest in one of these little irons, then I'd say go for this kit, because then you've got every tip you'd need. Alright. But then there's the price. Okay, for the money for this, it's 198 New Zealand, so that's about, what's that, 120 US roughly, is it? 125, 130 US, something like that, I guess. So, yeah, for the US, there we go. 140 US is theirs. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit on the pricey side considering you can get a knockoff Heiko for less than that. So maybe that's the way to go in that case. But if you're not going to be, if you don't need the whole set, then just buy individual bits. All right. So I'll go back to the other page. So we've got individual tips like this. Yeah, say $15 US. Say $11. Yeah, sorry, $11 US. 15 New Zealand. All right. And those are the different tip types. So this is what I was going to explain. Now the one that came with this iron was the BC2. Oh, sorry, the B2. Right. This little conical tip here. There we go. This one that came with it. And there's actually on the packaging saying B2. You've also got the BC2, which is a chisel tip version, which is what I prefer to have. This chisel tip. You also got this type as well. This blade tip, I suppose. And you got this knife tip. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If that's the well type, that might be worth getting. You can't actually see from the detail. It looks like it's just a 45-degree cut, but it might have a well on the end of it, which is good for doing SMD stuff, you know, drag soldering. But again, you can't tell from that picture, and there's another knife one here. So I mean, there's options for buying aftermarket parts as well. You know, these are all the original ones, obviously, but you can get all these different parts. So This one here, so I want to show, it's got the shrouds on it. Okay, so these are these finger shrouds, which this thing really needs. Right. So if you look at it when it's installed, it ends up looking like that, which helps protect your fingers a little bit from burning. Maybe not a huge amount. I mean, obviously it does have air gaps around it to help cool that bit cool, but where it attaches here, it's still going to be hot. So it may just make it less likely going to get a 300-degree burn. You might just get, you know, an 80-degree burn. Right? It's an improvement. It might feel it before it actually does any damage. So I'm actually very tempted to get this tip myself because it comes with those shrouds on them. And so C1 and IELS. Does it do a close-up of them? Really, they come in little tubes. Cool. Little storage tubes. Okay, I want to close up the tips. Interesting. Right. Examples of soldering, but not a close-up of the actual tip, which is kind of what you want. I mean, that looks like a small chisel tip. And that's just, I don't know, are they really small chisel tips? I can't really tell. So, anyway, I'm waffling again. So, that's also, you can buy a box as well if you buy the individual parts. Like, I've got this, you know, if you really want to, you can build the kit up yourself and have the box, which is like 22 US, New Zealand, what's that, 15, 16 US. Alright, so, there's options, but you know, it's really up to you what you're going to do. It's okay, you know, the iron's okay. So I said I'll put links down below for description in a bit. You click on the show more tab, expand that, and you'll see the links in there for this. And obviously this is the actual iron itself. Alright, so that's what I got, basically. Yeah. It's okay, you know, it works well. I just don't find it's comfortable. I mean, see how this guy's holding it. This makes it like it's really big, right? Well, obviously this guy's hand is a lot smaller than mine. You know, my hands are right at the end of it. You know, when it's in this kind of position, it's just, yeah, that makes it look bigger than it really is. And it's nice having a small iron, you know, it makes it portable if you want to have a little portable iron. Anyway, so I thought I'd show you those links anyway. So again, check out the description if you want to go and look at these in more detail or buy stuff at Banggood, because my links are tracked to Banggood, so they can associate any purchases and stuff as being sourced from my channel, which helps me to get credit on my account, things like that, which means I can buy things cheaper and things like that, which helps. Rather than give me money. It doesn't cost you any extra, it just benefits me, so that's great. Okay, so I think that's enough waffling. So don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell icon to make sure you know it's got the little lines around it to show it's like going to ring. So if you get popping notifications, and share the video if you really feel like it's worth it. Yeah. Screenshot stuff. All good, I hope.